Hi, I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard, and it's that time of year again when you rank everything that happened this year in a top 10 list, and I'm going to do the same. So this is my top 10 list of 2014, my top 10 favorite movies. I will preface this by saying this year was kind of weak for movies. It kind of was hard to get kind of hard to get 10 movies together, but this is what I got, and enjoy.
Number 10.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one barely made the list. It mostly made it just for how surprising it was. I really thought it was going to be a terrible, terrible movie, but actually, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing ever made, but it was pretty good. I don't think I'd buy it on Blu-ray, but I would. I'm going to see the sequel. Yeah, so just on a surprising factor, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 10.
No, whoa, chill. It's just a mask. See? Don't freak out. Right?
Number 9.
Transformers: Age of Extinction. I like giant robots, so Transformers have always, I guess you can call it like a guilty pleasure for me. I like all the movies except the second one. So this one is up there. I like the direction that it's taking. I really wish we get one without humans in it, but that's a lot to ask for. But I definitely like the idea of the human Transformers. It could have been explored a little bit better, but human-made Transformers is pretty awesome. And you know what? Optimus Prime rides a T-Rex. That's enough to make it on everybody's list, I think. So, Transformers: Age of Extinction. It had a lot of good ideas. Hopefully it's a better step for the whole franchise.
Number 8.
Expendables 3. This was still good despite the PG-13 rating. I actually don't feel like it took too much away from it. It was still an awesome, just, blow everything up and, shoot all the bad guys type movie. It was still fun, just like the other two. It ranks right up there with the other two. I think these movies have been at least on par with each other. So, yeah, if you want to blow some stuff up or see some stuff get blown up, Expendables 3, it was pretty decent.
You were stupid enough to get yourself into this space! We're the only ones crazy enough to get you out of it!
Number 7.
The Amazing Spiderman 2. A lot of people had problems with this movie, and I really don't agree with them. I think the biggest complaint is the bad guys, and I think this movie's not really about the bad guys. It's about Peter Parker, who's 18, dealing with, loss and keeping a promise to a man that he made on his deathbed, and, wanting to be with Gwen Stacy, if you've seen the first one. It's, it feels more organic. He's only 18. He doesn't know how to deal with things like this. He's, the youngest out of most of the superheroes we've seen in at least movies, and I think it's played off very well. The characters in this movie are really strong, and I really enjoyed it. So hopefully we'll get to see more of this Spider-Man. I really like this Spider-Man.
I had a traffic thing.
Did your traffic jam have anything to do with being, I don't know, shot at by machine guns?
Yeah. Oh, that was implied. I was implying that.
Number 6.
X-Men: Days of Future Past. This one's probably lower on my list than most people's, mostly just because the ending. I really hated the ending. I don't want to go too much into it because this is a top 10 list. So the things they did right. This is a great movie to bring the two franchises that they kind of had split off together. It's what they did with Blink in the future was amazing. I loved her. And it was an enjoyable movie. One of the cool things it kind of did is it didn't have a big bad guy per se, really. It was just fighting a situation, not a bad guy, and I thought that was pretty clever and really interesting way to go about it, an X-Men movie. So but yeah, it was really good. Just the ending ruined it for me. So yeah, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Please. We need you to hope again. Number 5.
Fury. So finally a movie that's not a sequel or a remake or tied to some other franchise somehow on my list. So to start off, huge Brad Pitt fan, and he doesn't disappoint in this movie. He's still great. This is a really dark war movie in the best ways. It really shows kind of the loss of humanity within war, and it's just really well done. For being a really dark movie, it's really good. So Fury.
Best job I ever had.
Best job I've ever had.
Best job I ever had.
Interstellar. So this is a beautiful movie. Christopher Nolan really knows how to set up a shot, and you can see it in every movie that he does. He just really makes really beautiful looking movies. And I love the use of black hole theory and a lot of hard science with this movie. And I also liked, honestly, the build-up to it, that no one really knew what this movie was about. The trailers are fairly ambiguous. So it kind of makes it exciting to see. You're not sure what you're going to see. So hopefully, I mean, we can start getting more movies like this on their own that surprise us, and this was great. I do want to say, though, the robots freaked me right the crap out. I don't know, something about the robots in this movie freaked me out. But beyond that, it's a great movie.
Meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it.
Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1. First, I'd like to say I'm not a big fan of the new idea of splitting a book into 2 parts. It always ends up being the first one's all build up with no payoff, and the second is all payoff with no build up. But I think this one, they did a really good job balancing it. I mean, we really won't see until Part 2 comes out, but it really delves deep into how Katniss doesn't want to be this symbol. She was just kind of thrown into it. All she was doing is saving her sister initially, and now she's become this symbol for resistance, and it's done really well. And it's kind of cool how she doesn't do a lot of the fighting. She's just part of this uprising that's being held by other people. It's really interesting and really well done. I really enjoyed this movie.
It's the things we love most that destroy us. Number 2.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This was awesome. When people were upset with Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World, Marvel was like, just wait for Captain. It'll change the Marvel universe, and it did. It was amazing. It flipped the whole thing on its ear. It really finally showed people why Captain America has been a superhero for so long and why people love him. Captain America kicks ass, and this was a great movie. It was kind of cool that it's not your straightforward superhero movie, that is more like a political thriller. I like how most comic fans knew who the Winter Soldier was going to be. That was not a surprise for anybody that knows the comics, but they still kept it surprising. It was still an interesting movie, and is a definite boost for Phase 2 of Marvel movies. This is a great movie.
Number 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So I noticed something this year, specifically when I started getting all these trailers together for this video. It seems like this year, and comic book movies in particular, stopped having fun. They're all brooding, like with forlorn trailers, and this one is not afraid to have fun, and I think that's why it's so good and why so many people liked it. This is a fun movie. It's funny, it's still got a lot of action, but it's just very enjoyable in just a great sense. It's well written, well put together. This is so far the best movie in Marvel's Phase 2. It's gonna be hard to beat it, but it might. Avengers might beat it, but this is a great movie, and I hope the second one's just as good. So Guardians of the Galaxy, best movie of the year.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
So that was my top 10 movies of 2014. Hopefully you share some of the same views. If not, let me know. So here's to 2015.